if you call on God, see, that's what God wants us to do. Call on him. I taught my Sunday school class that don't make God a 911 call. So what do you mean, evangelist? You make God a 911 call because you call him in an emergency. But if you call on God all the time, when the emergency comes, all you got to do is say Jesus. Because he's a present help in the time of trouble. You don't have to make a 911 call. You just have to say Jesus. And he already know the rest. But we got to be able. Saints, we got to be able. I know you saying I'm repeating this, but you got to be able to follow instructions. And you got to be able to follow them well. You got to be able to do what God tell you to do. Don't try to take a shortcut and say, I'm going to get there quicker this way. No, you won't. You went the long way round when you disobeyed. Because now you got to go back and get that right. But when Elijah called on God, when he talked to God and told God about it, then the true and the living God answered by fire. And when he answered by fire, he dried the trench up. He took the evening sacrifice, and not only did he take the sacrifice, but he licked up the water. What a mighty God we serve. The only thing God tells us not to do, it ain't but one thing God tell you not to do. And you say, well, how can God tell me not to do just one thing? But it ain't but one thing he tell you not to do. And that's sin. That's the one thing God tell you not to do. And that's sin. All unrighteousness is a sin. So everything go up under that category. Sin. That's all God asks us not to do. Everything else you can do it. You can enjoy life. You can live a good life long as you don't sin. Because sin is unrighteousness and it's against God. But saints, please, listen to me carefully. And I'm going to take my seat. Our pastor teaches us well. She gives us what God give her. And I fully understand that she be giving us what God has given her. Because, you know, when a person got the Spirit of God, my spirit going to agree with her spirit. She going to tell you what thus saith the Lord. That's all she going to tell you is the truth. And if she give you a word, all you got to do is follow the instructions that she's giving you. And if you follow those instructions, don't take a shortcut. Don't go in the opposite direction and say I'm grown and I'm big enough to do what I want to do. But follow the instructions and do it the way God say do it. And if you do it the way God said do it, then God going to come down and he going to take up the evening sacrifice and he going to leave behind a blessing. He going to pour you out a blessing that you don't even have room enough to receive it. I hear the abundance of rain. God is finna rain on us. God is finna bless us. God is finna carry us to another level. That's why he's teaching us to follow instructions. Because you got to be able to follow instructions in order to go where God is trying to carry us. God is carrying us somewhere, y'all. God is not going to leave us where we are. God is finna pour out, not only pour out blessings, but God finna pour out money in this church. God is pouring the abundance of rain. It's representing blessings. It's not just saying rain because I'm saying rain, but God is saying I'm finna pour out blessings. It's time for things to shift, y'all. When people look at you, they need to see that God is on your side. When they look at you, they need to see a difference in your life. Your life should be different from the world. You shouldn't look like the world, but you should look different. And that's what God's trying to get us to. But he wants us to learn how to follow instructions. If you get a message today, don't just throw it in. Don't just say, oh, well, Evangelist Golston preached a good message today. I enjoyed that word, evangelist. Well, if you enjoy it and if you believe it and if you receive it, don't throw it on the shelf. Put it into action. Practice it. See if it'll work. You know, it's easy for us to believe the devil. And I'm finna take my seat. You know, the devil tell us that, you know, you got cancer. And you say, oh, Lord, I'm finna die. They gave me the C word. But the pastor told you on last week, Jesus said, by his stripes, you are already healed. But you went to the doctor and the doctor said you wasn't well. But you said you believe the pastor. But you come back next Sunday and say, oh, well, Pastor, I'm finna die. And guess what? You finna die. Because you said it. I know it sounds laughable, but I am serious. If you say you're going to die, you're going to die. Because you said it. Said life and death is in the power of the tongue, saints. But believe the word and follow instructions. If you didn't hear nothing else I said today, remember that woman stood up there half of the day and said, follow instructions. Life is not hard. And this word came from God through the pastor. He told her to tell us life is not hard if we can follow instructions.